How to launch an e-commerce website and make it grow. In this video, I explain how to get started with your new online store. It also uncovers proven techniques that bring customers to the shopping cart of your e-commerce platform. Stay tuned. Hi there, my name is Ben. I am the founder and CEO at Prodima, a digital marketing agency based in Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. Click on the closed captions button below if you want to watch this video with English or Vietnamese subtitles. Let's make a quick comparison between a physical and an online store. When you sell your items in a brick-and-mortar shop, you must rent or own the boutique. A virtual e-commerce marketplace is quicker, easier, and more affordable to set up, as we'll see later in this video. Besides, you must take the environment into account. A physical shop can be on the street, in a mall, or next to bigger brands, for example. An e-commerce website does not face this direct competition. However, it must fight against online competitors. Offline clients who pass by may purchase your products on the go thanks to the momentum. It is different on the internet, where users can browse, compare, and take more time to think. Now let's talk about the items. In a physical store, the customer reads on-site documentation or asks questions to the salesperson. When it comes online, website visitors rely on product descriptions, comparative tools, or reviews. You can interact with the products in a brick-and-mortar location. You cannot do that on an e-commerce website. It can be problematic for items like perfumes, clothing, or toys. Overall, people trust physical shops more than online stores. There are many other differences between real-life boutiques and e-commerce websites. It includes the way you track the client's purchasing journey, the customer service, the payment process, the costs, the shipping, and the return conditions. In a few minutes, I will focus on the way to promote your e-commerce website, as it is a crucial step to being successful online. Before that, we must build your marketplace together. As you certainly know, there are plenty of options for you out there. You can list your products on giant e-commerce platforms like Amazon or eBay. You can also consider online stores like the Google Merchant Center or the Facebook shop. In this training video, I will talk about creating your own e-commerce website. Why should you launch an e-commerce website to sell your products? And who should consider it? To answer the first question, we need to make another comparison. Amazon, eBay, Shopee, Lazada. All those e-commerce platforms are great to showcase your items. Online users trust them and massively browse products on search marketplaces. For businesses, it is fast and convenient to list their products there. You just need to create your account, copyright your items information, upload images, and you are ready to sell. It works similarly on online marketplaces like the Google Merchant Center or the Facebook shop. The main difference is the ecosystem. For example, if you promote your products on the Facebook store, you will mostly advertise them in the metaverse environment. It means it will be simple to reach Facebook and Instagram users and more challenging to engage people from other channels. The problem with all those platforms is that you do not own them. You are the tenant, they are the landlords. It is convenient for you to be part of this directory. However, you must follow their rules, their processes, their design, and their conditions. Those e-commerce platforms can decide to shut down your online store at any time. You depend on them. It is not the case with your e-commerce website. As you fully control your domain, you can do whatever you want. You decide which structure you want to apply, which user interface, which branded design, which payment gateway, etc. Besides, your customers will trust you more. This is the reason why I recommend you build your e-commerce website to showcase and sell your products. Should all businesses own an e-commerce website? Or is that only for big brands? Is it enough to list products on popular e-commerce platforms? My answer is simple. Yes, you should build a website, even if you are a small company or a one-person business. Most business owners are afraid of developing their e-commerce website because they think it's complicated and expensive. This is not true. In the next section, I will show you how to get started in a matter of hours for a budget as small as $10 a month. For now, I just want to make sure we are on the same page regarding the need of creating your e-commerce website. If you have products that you want to sell online, the e-commerce platforms like Amazon are a great choice. You must list your items there. Besides, you also want to develop your branded platform over which you have complete control. Even if you cannot promote it, even if you won't have as many sales on your website as on those giant marketplaces, you should still develop your e-commerce domain. Don't forget that website seniority is a thing. The longer your online store is live, the better your brand's authoritativeness. It is fine to publish a website that has no traffic. In the future, once you scale up, you will be better off promoting a website that was online for 2 years rather than a fresh new platform. It's time to learn how to create a new e-commerce website. I will start with a simple way to proceed, then I will show you a more sophisticated method. To get started, you need 2 assets, a domain name and a hosting. The domain name is nothing more than the address of your website. The most important parts are the TLD, top level domain, for example, .vn, and the second level domain, for example, Prodima. To launch your new website, you must purchase your domain name from a registrar like GoDaddy, Bluehost, Namecheap, or Domain.com. First, you must make sure that the address you want to buy is available. Ideally, choose a unique string like your brand name or a specific keyword. You must also select your top-level domain name as a .com. For this example, I pick a .store. The registrar will check its availability. If no one else purchased this domain name before, then you are good to go. Usually, you buy a domain name for 1 year. As you can see, it is rather cheap. But be careful, if you do not renew your subscription after 1 year, your domain name will become available again. Anyone willing to purchase it from a registrar could become the new owner. The next thing you need to publish your e-commerce website is a hosting. Most registrars offer them too. In this case, when I am going to proceed with the purchase of my domain name, the registrar lets me consider a hosting option. You can also go into more detail and compare different hosting packages. Here, you can buy a hosting for 12 or 36 months. You can choose to have more storage or a dedicated IP, etc. To sum up, the more you pay, the more you get. And like for the domain name, you can see that purchasing a hosting will not break your wallet. I can hear some of you asking questions like, so it's not possible to create a website for free? Yes, you can. There are several free website builders out there. Let's have a quick look at one of them. You probably know about Wix. After creating an account, you can publish a new website for absolutely no cost in a matter of minutes. You don't need a designer, you don't need a developer, you don't even need to purchase a domain name or a hosting because Wix provides them to you. Of course, what is free comes with some limitations. For example, you cannot customize your domain name except if you are ready to pay for that. Those website builders propose several free templates that are easy to use. You can also customize a little bit more with simple drag and drop functions. Those solutions are extremely convenient. However, if you want to launch an e-commerce website, I do not recommend this free option. It is good enough if you need a personal blog or a temporary landing page. If you run a business, you must be a little bit more professional. Besides, I assume that an e-commerce business owner can afford the $10 a month I mentioned earlier. Now that you have a domain name and a hosting, you can create your e-commerce website. To do this, you need to choose a CMS. It stands for Content Management System. A CMS is software that allows you to manage your website content. You can create new pages, new categories, upload your images, edit your text, etc. Here again, you have a large choice of CMS. Wix is one of them. They all have their pros and cons. My preference goes for WordPress. I am not the only one to think like that. More than 40% of all worldwide websites are built under WordPress. It is an extremely customizable CMS. What you can do on any other platform, you can also develop it on WordPress. There are tons of themes and plugins available for unlimited customization. And, very important for me, it is one of the most SEO-friendly content management systems. Besides, as WordPress is an open source, you can exchange with a huge community of developers to help you solve your technical issues. In short, I strongly recommend WordPress as your e-commerce website CMS. By using predefined templates, you can build up your online store without any coding skills. It is doable, but to get the most out of WordPress, you should have at least one developer who has experience with this CMS. It will allow you to custom a little bit more and add features that you need for your e-commerce website. If you can have a designer, that's even better. Of course, you can also go for other CMS that may be simpler to use. For example, many e-commerce websites go for Shopify. It is a little bit more expensive, but it comes at a huge advantage. Shopify is optimized for e-commerce websites. It has a CRM system integrated, customer relationship management, and you can edit everything by yourself even if you have no design or coding skills. On the downside, you cannot fully customize a Shopify website as you want, and this CMS is also limited if you want to consider search engine optimizations. Moving forward, let me show you how to structure your e-commerce website. This is your platform, so you are free to do whatever you want. But if you want to be successful, there are a few rules to follow. Here is a simplified chart of what your e-commerce website should look like. The home page is the most important web page of your domain. It gets the highest authority and links out to every main section of your platform. For e-commerce websites, the most important ones are the product categories. For example, if you sell shirts, you may have 3 top-level categories like women's shirts, men's shirts, and kids' shirts. Deeper in the website architecture, you can have subcategories, in case you sell many products or the products themselves. In all cases, you can see that everything is well structured following an intuitive logic. Make sure everything is in order and there are no orphan pages, meaning web pages that are not connected to others within the domain, because such architecture is crucial for both search engines crawling your website and online users who browse your products. To help people find your items, you must develop your e-commerce website following a clear interface. Earlier in this video, I mentioned free templates that are available from different CMS. They are usually good by default. Don't forget you can also completely custom your e-commerce platform thanks to a web designer. In your category pages, you must have filters. Those filters allow your potential customers to find what they want. Of course, you don't need them if you showcase only 3 products on your website. If you sell more, your e-commerce website must have a solid backend connected to a CRM. To simplify the online user's navigation, make sure that no product page or any web page in general is laying deeper than 3 clicks from the home page. It is an ideal scenario. Sometimes it is hard to apply this e-commerce rule on big websites. Just keep in mind that search engines and people do not like to spend ages finding your content. And then you have your detailed product page. It must also follow some rules. If you use a CMS like Shopify or WooCommerce, they offer product page templates that are excellent. If you custom your e-commerce website, make sure you include this information: the product name, at least one image, but more are strongly expected, its price, a detailed product description. The most important is the Add to Cart function that you connect to your payment gateway. Then you can add more information like 5-star rating reviews, the shipping conditions, the product variations like size or color, and at the bottom of the page, we usually find a related product section, as the purpose is to keep the online shoppers engaging with your e-commerce website. All your product pages must follow the same design template. Only their specific information will change from one to another. If you custom the design, make sure your product pages are responsive and compatible with small devices. If you follow the digital trends, you should start designing with the mobile version first. We are almost done with building your e-commerce website. There are still 2 points that I would like to insist on: the customer relationship management and the payment gateway. Both are critical as they can lead your e-commerce website either to failure or success. Get them right. The CRM is the system that allows you to manage your clients. When an online user interacts with your e-commerce website, the CRM records his information like his name, his contact information, or his product interest. It automatically creates a profile that you can categorize and group with other prospects or customers. Using a CRM is a great way to follow up on your client list, identify what works and doesn't work on your e-commerce website, extract data and statistics, personalize your messages like email marketing or customer service, improve your customer retention. You can also simply work with spreadsheets like Excel. Once an online user inputs his request and contact information on your e-commerce website, you can receive that directly into your email box. Then, you copy this data and update your spreadsheet manually. However, CRMs make your life a lot easier. They automate time-consuming tasks. Most of those tools have free options to get started. If you manage more than 100 customers per month, I cannot recommend you enough to consider integrating a CRM. Most e-commerce websites include a user portal by default. It allows online visitors to create their profiles on your platform, which is precious customer information that directly lands in your CRM system. Make the sign-up as straightforward as possible. Simple registration via Google or Facebook is preferred. Never ask too much information about your potential prospect if you can avoid it. The more fields to fill, the more likely people will drop their sign-up. Such user login helps visitors record their preferences like the previous items they browsed, for example. It also keeps the past purchases with the billing invoices. In short, it customizes their experience on your e-commerce website. Nowadays, personalization is key to success. We are almost done. Now let's talk about the payment gateway. Once your future client decides to proceed with the payment of his cart, he will go through the final sales funnel. It starts with the payment method. If the client logged into your e-commerce website backend, this information should be automatically populated so we could proceed quickly. Remember that the more steps or the more complicated, the more likely you will see a drop in your sales conversions. you must propose different payment options. Credit cards and cash on delivery must be available by default. Besides, consider e-wallets that work in your country. Of course, show the pricing in the correct currency, especially if you serve several countries with the same e-commerce website. Once the payment is done, display a thank you page to confirm that everything went well. Please never use a pop-up as a thank you page. Make sure that this confirmation message is hosted on a unique URL. It is important for proper performance tracking. You cannot measure the number of successful transactions by only counting the number of online users clicking or tapping on the purchase button. You must check how many transfers went through. The thank you page is the best way to follow up on this because it is proof that the money came into your bank account. On your e-commerce website, you must also have clear information about your company name, business license, address, phone, and contact details. Besides, it is mandatory to have product shipping and returning policies. It is the same for the cookie policy. Depending on your country, you may have additional legal regulations to follow. Make sure you carefully check them before you publish your e-commerce website live. And finally, install your Google Tag Manager, your Google Search Console, and your Google Analytics on your e-commerce platform. They will help you track everything you need to know about your sales performance. Congratulations! You publish your e-commerce website. Now everyone can visit your platform and browse products before purchasing them. You are still not done though. Pushing your website live is one thing. Having buying visitors is another journey. Never assume that people will rush into your platform just to please you. Your e-commerce website must get noticed. You must attract qualified leads. Let me show you two main ways to catch the market demand. The first option is also the most common one, running online ads. There are different kinds of paid media. I explain how to launch campaign in other step-by-step training videos. For this one, let's keep it simple. We publish ad copies and visual creatives so online users understand what we offer. The purpose is to have them click on our ads, so we redirect them to our e-commerce website where they will purchase. For example, what happens when I type iPhone 13 on Google? Of course, I see tons of ads because many resellers propose this product. On the left side, I see 4 Google search ads that promote this device. If I click on those links, I will land on their e-commerce websites. The first organic result is laying quite far on the Google Search Engine Results page, or SERP. I will come back to this when I introduce the second option to promote your online store. On the right side of the screen, there are Google Shopping ads. We have pictures, prices, and again, links redirecting to an e-commerce website. Let's click on the first one. On this product page, we recognize all the features I mentioned earlier. We see the product name, the price, the pictures, the full product description, the related items, etc. Of course, we also have the Buy Now button. If I click on it, I will go through the purchasing process and maybe finalize the transaction. Running online ads is a great way to bring qualified traffic to your e-commerce website. Let's see the pros and cons of investing in such a kind of digital campaign. First, you can get quick results. Once the platform approves your ads, you can sell your first products in a matter of hours. As you saw in the previous example, your ads benefit from great visibility. As you pay for this, you enjoy premium placements. You fully control your ad campaign. With the right trackers on your e-commerce website, you see exactly what happens and you can adjust accordingly. With online ads, you must invest, but if you do well your optimization job, you can get a nice return on ad spend, ROAS. You should target at least a 4:1 ratio, but you can get much more. On the other side, online ads are expensive. You can get started with a small budget like $10 per day, but you shouldn't expect many results from that. If your e-commerce products are fighting in a competitive market, you may have to spend at least thousands of dollars monthly to get some traffic. Besides, you lose everything when you stop running ads. Your traffic only relies on your capacity to invest in media spending and your optimization skills. To sum up, online ads attracts potential buyers quickly to your e-commerce website, but it comes at a cost. The alternative to paid media is e-commerce search engine optimization. It follows the opposite logic of online ads. Instead of pushing potential buyers to your landing pages, SEO pulls them from the market to your products. The idea is that your items will attract customers by answering an existing demand. This demand is what online users are searching across the internet. When someone types iPhone 13 on Google, the search engine will return, besides the ads that we have already analyzed in the previous section, a few organic results that match this query, iPhone 13. I explained in other training videos how SEO works. To make it simple, search engines like Google will serve to online users what they think is the best answer to the keyword input. It means that the purpose of e-commerce SEO is to make Google understand that your product page is the one that your customers should visit as a priority. Concretely, here is how it works. You must optimize your web pages to satisfy the search engines and the online users. It includes the product page title, the subheads, the meta description, the item description, etc. There are several factors to consider. Take note that you can implement those optimizations only if you own the website. You cannot do much SEO on an e-commerce platform, for example. That's why it is important to build your branded e-commerce website to sell your product. So, with SEO, we bring organic traffic to your landing pages. Here is a list of pros. Unlike paid ads, the SEO benefits pile up with time, and even if you stop optimizing your e-commerce website, you keep your rankings and organic traffic for some time. The organic traffic you get from SEO is more qualified than from online ads because the user purchasing intent is much higher and people are not passive. The ROI of SEO is extremely high. Search engine optimization actually offers the best return on investment within all digital marketing strategies. SEO brings you sustainable and relevant traffic to your product pages. It is a powerful online strategy as it positively impacts your authoritativeness and trustworthiness. Now, SEO also comes with some drawbacks. The most problematic issue is that organic optimizations take time to scale up. You must invest time, effort, and money into SEO for no significant benefit during the first month. That's a showstopper for many businesses. The other big concern is that there is no guarantee with search engine optimization. As it takes time and depends on many third-party factors, you can never be sure SEO will pay off. For example, a Google Core algorithm update may take down your organic performance even if you optimize your e-commerce website well. What is the best strategy to boost the online visibility of your e-commerce website? Ads are expensive but offer immediate results. SEO takes time but is extremely profitable in the long run. To sell your products, you want to do both in parallel. Launch paid media advertising so you can get quick wins. At the same time, optimize your e-commerce website so you can enjoy sustainable and qualified organic traffic after a few months. Once your organic performance becomes solid enough, you can slightly decrease the budget for your ads. At this point, your SEO investment should completely pay off. Now, can you rely on SEO and get rid of online advertising? By experience, you must always keep a small budget for ads, even if your organic performance is great. Here is an example. This tourism website is running ads and is also at the top of the organic results. As it takes up most of the space, online users are more likely to click on it and visit this website. This is what we call controlling the first page of Google. Besides, be aware that your competitors can bid on your branded keywords if they want. Yes, it is legal. If you want to prevent this from happening, you should keep a small media budget to run ads on your product or brand name. You made it! You know how to build an e-commerce website. You also know how to attract online customers to your product pages. Are you ready to cash in? Before we finish this training video, please let me share some useful tips with you. Check what your competitors are doing. Except if you enter a new niche market, you don't need to reinvent the wheel. If you know what makes other e-commerce websites successful and what does not work that well, you will have a precious mine of information to build up your own strategy. Review the products that are like yours on e-commerce platforms. Analyze the information they share about the items, what kind of pictures they use, on which keywords they focus the most. It will help you do the same for your online store. Publish top quality and unique content. Never duplicate any description of your products. I see too many resellers that just copy-paste their content from the original store and then do not understand why their e-commerce website doesn't get noticed. You must at least rephrase everything. Keep your web pages loading fast. Amazon announced that every extra 100 milliseconds in loading time were costing them 1% in sales. It's huge, and you don't want that for your e-commerce website. Target a loading time under 1 second if you can. The shorter, the better. Thank you guys! I hope you enjoyed this video about e-commerce websites. Feel free to share comments in the section below. I personally answer all your questions about digital marketing. If you want me to cover another topic, just ask. I am glad to share more expertise in future training videos. Take care!